also have a look close to the Seven Sisters, and if you have a look like high up, you can see a farm there. There's a farm, like a meadow on a cliff. Can everyone see?
Yep.
Up there. There's a couple of houses. Yeah, so that one is called Kniesklov. It's a Norwegian family name, and these guys, they used to live there from 16th century until the end of 19th century. So yeah, during the time when there was like a population boom in town, there was not enough space. They were just looking for more space, so they were just building farms on places where they thought they could make a living. So this was one of them. Yeah, so they moved there and they were living there, but in the end of 19th century they moved back to the town because it was pretty hard to live there. Yeah, they were just keeping like animals, so it was all livestock farms. So yeah, then they just they moved out. It's still there. The reason why they left this farm is that if you have a look above the farm, there is like a dark rock, and in that rock, if you look really carefully, you can have a look. There is like few cracks like this, like a horizontal cracks. So they were scared that the rock might collapse, might destroy the farm, so they just left it because of that. So, yeah, there used to be something like 10 farms in this fjord. There is also one more above this waterfall, above Bringa. There is a place that's called Komsdalen. Opposite to the Seven Sisters, there is a Skageflow farm. So it's yeah, used to be a lot of farms here. You can see we can see one of them. So there is no access by a road, so it's all by boat and hiking, right? So they had to be rowing a boat, and then they had to hike to the farm. So whatever they were doing, if they were keeping animals or yeah, whatever, they always had to hike to the farm and back. So pretty tough life. There is no road, so the only road that is going to the town is the Geiranger road and this Eagle road. And here it's only accessed by hike and by boat. So yeah. So they were staying there like all year round. Even in the winter, they were just fishing in the fjord because it's just ice free. And yeah, pretty tough life. So yeah, that's one of the interesting things about Geiranger Fjord is this like a culture aspect of it. So it was protected by or it's been protected by UNESCO since 2005, and that's because of the mountains, right? So they're really steep, really vertical. They have a shape of a letter U, kind of like this, and that's because it was shaped by a glacier. And yeah, so that's one of them. It's quite narrow, steep, and also because of the farming history and the waterfalls. So yeah, it's a lot of things that are quite interesting here. So we stay together and don't split. Oh, nice.
Oh, it's a boy.
Yeah. A bit louder, I cannot hear you.
So I saw some buildings which look like private homes and not hotels.
Private homes?
Yeah.
Like in the town? Or yeah. Like there is still people living in the town, or what do you mean? Or
No.
Are they like holiday homes for people?
oh, okay, yeah. So there is some holidays homes, like so like by this road there's like 2 farms that are active, so they keep animals. Some of them are just like private homes, so there's like overall yeah, like 2 to 250 people that live here like all year round. So yeah, and not all of them are farming. So yeah, there's definitely people. Some of them are just summer homes. Yeah, yeah. But right now it's like that's the end more or less because of the rock slides and avalanches. You cannot really build places everywhere you want to. So like right now, if you wanted to have a house here, it's super hard to even like find a place and to get it. So yeah, there's like not even possible, I would say, right now.
Seven Sisters is like any waterfalls over there? Or?
Yeah, I'll come with the story.
Where do you live?
Close to the kayak center. So that part of the town is called Homlong, and yeah, I'm staying there with all the kayak workers. So we get cabins up there. Everyone's got their own cabin, and it's close to the kayak center. Yeah.
In the winter, will this be frozen? There's like...
It's not frozen in the winter.
No.
So this is salty water. If you taste it, it's still
okay.
Slightly salty. So yeah, we call it brackish water, mixed water, yeah, fjord water, how we want to. So it's right now there is a lot of fresh water in it because it's yeah, coming from the snow and from the rain. If you come here in the winter or in the fall, it's way more salty than right now. So if you go to all the way to the coast, and then it's way more salty than here. But it's a big mass of water. It's quite deep here. In the middle, it's like 100 meters. Between the waterfalls, it's like 150 meters. So it's a big mass of water, and it's yeah.
Oh, the cruise ship has to come, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a small wave coming from the back, so you can just hold the kayaks. Don't worry, and be careful with the phone, maybe. A little bit of... Nice. Bit of excitement here. Okay. Cool guys, so the Seven Sisters, that's the highlight of the fjord. Right now it does not have a lot of water, but still decent flow. Later in the summer, sometimes there's only like 2 channels. And yeah, because it's a highlight, I'll tell you a story about it. And you have to guess if it's true or false, okay? So, yeah, you can all see the farm next to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So imagine that you live there in the end of 19th century. Your name is Ulek Nivspo, you're head of the family, you're a guy. And yeah, you live on that farm, you keep goats and sheep and other small animals. And they're just spread on that meadow, so you've got nothing to do. You're basically a really bored farmer. One day, you start to hike above the waterfall, and you start to dig a channel. So you're playing with rocks, with soil, moving them side to side, and it takes you 1 summer. And after 1 summer, you split the waterfall into another channel. At the end of the summer, you take a boat, you have a look from the bottom, you can see 1 more channel, you think it's really cool. So the next summer, you do the same. And overall, you keep playing with the waterfall until you reach the final number of 7 channels, and that's why it's called the Seven Sisters. 1 guy. Bored farmer.
Not true.
No.
Okay, who's for false?
Who's for false?
Yeah? Who's for true? Okay, you guys are getting ice cream. It's a true story.
Nice.
You guys are buying,
Wow.
and the
Wow.
parents are buying. Oh yeah.
Who was working? He was digging the trench.
He was digging the...
So the family was working?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he was doing it by himself, the head of the family. The guy was
Wow.
digging the...
No, I mean, who was tending the farm?
He was like, there was just nothing to do. He was just like,
right.
he was bored. And he was also like, he was an artist, so he kind of wanted to do it. There's like more reasons why he was doing it. Yeah, but one of them was just like a bored artist, a farmer that was just like, yeah, he got nothing to do, and he wanted to make like a more beautiful waterfall. So yeah, so it's actually a true story. The tricky part is that he did not create 6 or 7 channels. He added only 3 channels. So back in the days there used to be 4 channels, and he added 3 of them. So it's like, it's not all human-made, right? It's like partly nature-made, partly human-made waterfall. But it's also not all nature. So that's what's special about Seven Sisters. Yeah, so we added the channels that are closer to the farm, yeah, there's even 1 channel is just like, you know, he wanted to bring the water closer to his house, so he also did 1 channel that is going through the house. It's like a tiny one just for water. But yeah, it's a true story. So that's the Seven Sisters. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just feel free to ask. I can answer, and yeah, if not, then we can take some photos here. You can just give me your phones if you want to have a photo.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.